Good morning, everyone. Following
Started using my elastic bands again yesterday on my arms.
how's it feel?
They're
Sore?
sore.
Hey Malcolm, you've got a little pop-up that is appearing on the screen.
Thank you, Jill. Lee circles. And reverse. And shoe circles. And reverse. And ping circles. And reverse. And reverse. And reverse. Okay, you can put away your sticks. Head turns. And center. And right ear up. You're going to have to start wearing cotton because I don't think I can remember to speak more softly. And relax. And left ear up. And relax. And right ear again. And relax. And left ear again. And relax back to center. Cross the hands on the chest. Raise the chin. And relax. Drop the chin to the chest. Tuck it in and raise the back of the neck. cross the hands on the chest again. Raise the chin. And relax. Drop the chin to the chest. Tuck it in and raise the back of the neck. And relax back to center. Head rolls. And down to center and reverse. And down to center and back up. Forward spinal wave. And reverse. And good. The qua. And reverse. And good. And reverse. And good. And good. And squats, starting on the left leg. And then the right leg. And the left leg again. And the right leg again. And prayer position. Okay, hands on the knees, up slowly. Keep your head down a moment. Okay, today we are going to work on a move. We may have done it in the past a little bit, but we're really going to work on it and analyze it a little bit, called White Ape Presents Fruit. And it's a forward and backward exercise. It's actually in the Tai Chi forms, but it's also broken out as an exercise, and that's what we're going to do. So it's a silk reeling exercise. White Ape Presents Fruit just makes me laugh because when I was in China, I was with a group of Chinese students, and they said, let's do White Ape Presents Fruit, and I started laughing. And of course, they all started laughing too, because of course, White Ape presents fruit. Okay, to do this right, you need to pay attention to 2 points in your body. The Tanzhuang acupuncture point and the Mingmen acupuncture point in the lower back. So I'm going to mark those and ask Annie to help me with this because I can't get my lower back. Mingmen, and sort of put that around behind my Mingmen.
Right there?
Yeah, up a little bit.
There.
Yeah, up between my kidneys. Okay, so I was doing this for Genevieve, so there you go. And I'm putting one here on my Dantian. The Mingmen is a separate energy organ from the Dantian itself, and yet it's also the back of the Dantian. So you can mark the back of the Dantian, the Mingmen, or you can maybe do both, do the Dantian too. Okay. These 2 points are really critical in Tai Chi and Qigong practice because they represent essentially the chest and the abdomen and the relationship between the two. And one way to think about them or feel them is each of them is a ball, all right? And the 2 balls can be separate, or they can be together, or they can kind of be like a Venn diagram where they're interacting with each other. When you're in your Mingmen in back, right? You're in your lower back. That's called being a bear, right? You are a bear. And this has a lot to do with Tai Chi as wrestling. Right? If you forget about your back, you forget about being a bear, you've lost half your flexibility, and a lot of your strength. However, you don't want to stay in that position all the time. Sometimes you come up into the chest. That's called having the chest of a tiger. All right? So the Tanzhong is tiger, the Mingmen is bear. So you can literally, in a good Tai Chi class, go tiger, bear, tiger, bear, tiger, bear. And if you feel inside, what you will feel, should feel, right, is like a pumping action. It pumps up into the chest, and then it drops down back into the lumbar area, and up into the chest, and into the lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back, right? Use both your hands here to pump a little bit. When you go down, use your elbows. Lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back. Right, so that's one of the real basic exercises. And if you look at all the silk reeling exercises, if you look at all the movements in Tai Chi and Qigong, you'll see this core element is always there. Sometimes it's rather subtle, other times it's really pronounced, but it's always there because your core body is always there. All right? Tai Chi and Qigong are not about moving the periphery, they're about moving the core, from the core outward to the periphery. Okay, so one of the classic exercises for this is White Ape presents fruit. And you can do it with different kinds of footwork, but we'll just do the real simple ones. So left foot forward, right foot back, right? And scoop, we'll just try this very gently at first. Scoop underneath your dantian, and then present fruit. So it's like you've got fruit in your hands and you're presenting them to someone, right? Scoop and present. And then it's almost like you're swimming, and relax and down under your dantian again and present fruit. And swim or tread water, and then under the dantian and again. Okay, once you get that basic outer move, then shift your attention to the relationship between your Tanzhong and your Mingmen in your lower back, all right? When you're underneath your dantian, you should be in your lower back. So I'm saying underneath the dantian, you could say underneath the Mingmen too, all right? And then as you come up into the Tanzhong. And now you kind of stay neutral, you're moving from the Tanzhong to the back, and now you sink down the back into the Mingmen again, and then up into the Tanzhong, Mingmen, Tanzhong, Mingmen, Tanzhong, Mingmen. Now, when you're doing this exercise, you usually do it 12 times, then you're going to do the reverse. I'll teach you the reverse in a moment. Then you switch legs to the right leg forward, you do 12 forward and 12 back. Or 9 forward and 9 back, whatever you want to do. You can do this kind of at different levels. It's perfectly okay to do this at a very gentle level. In some ways, it's even kind of preferable. In other words, you're not straining the body or you're trying to make it into into a big deal, right? You're just doing this very, very gently. Paying particular attention to coming from the Tanzhong up into the Mingmen, inside the body, and then back down again, and up, and down, and up, and down. However, it's also okay to put a little oomph into this too. It depends on the day. Some days you come into exercise, maybe you're a little tired. So what you need to do is to recharge your batteries. It's better to do that kind of very gently. Other days, you may come in and you're just full of energy, in which case you should play with that a little bit, right? So if you're going to be a little bit more energetic about this, you might take a little bit bigger stance, right? And then center chest, lower back, center chest, lower back, center chest, lower back, right? In other words, you're exploring a little bit more the edges of what you're doing, right? Does this make sense? Right? Either way is fine. Just follow your own body feelings. Okay, so this is the front way. If you were doing Tai Chi, hold on a second. I think I might have a picture here. No, it's somewhere in here. But I have to look for it. I'll have to find it for tomorrow. There's a classic picture of Master Feng doing exactly this move with someone. In the Tai Chi form, it looks like this. It's a one-handed version of it. All right? Block, block.
Bird's nest.
This is called the swallow. This is called the swallow's nest. All right? So it's a strike to the throat. And this is maybe a little fiery for this, but that's what you're doing. Right? So it's not about having a bloodthirsty intention, but it's about being aware of what it is you're actually trying to accomplish. So it's a little bit like drawing a bow and arrow, right? If you have no concept that you're going to shoot the arrow and it's going to go and hit something, what are you doing exactly? Why are you doing this? Right? Well, if you do have that concept, now you have a very clear picture of what your energy body should be doing. Okay? So this is the front version. Right? Here's the back version. Lower back, lower back, lower back, center chest, lower back, center chest, lower back, center chest. And again, you can do it very gently, or you can put a little more oomph into it. Those of you who like Lazy Dragon, rolls on the beach, all right? Lazy Dragon. Well, this is Lazy Dragon on both sides. It's the same thing. Only you're doing both sides now. This reverse exercise is particularly good, or at least I find it particularly good for the spine. especially the upper spine, between the arms, between the shoulder blades, because it really flexes and works out the spine. And if you spend a lot of time working on a computer or just doing any kind of tool work, you're probably going to get kind of stiff up between the shoulder blades. So this is a really good way to work them out a little bit. All right? Let's try it on the right side. So the right foot out, scoop under, lower back, chest, lower back, chest, lower back, chest. And after you get used to these exercises, these particular exercises, then play a little bit inside with your own thought about what's going on in your body. So I've been talking about these 2 points, which is true, but it's not confined just to those 2 points. In fact, it goes from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. So when you are sinking into your lower back, another way to say that is you are closing your core body. Closing is not just between these 2 points. It's actually includes your head and it includes your feet. So everything is closing. When you come up into the Tanjong, now you're opening. It's not just these 2 points opening. It also includes your head and it goes all the way to your feet. So the real motion that's going on in both the forward and reverse positions on this is the whole body is opening and closing. But a way to start this is just to pay attention to the chest and lower back, and then gradually to bring everything in. All right, now everything's going to close. It's all going to close down to the Dantian. It's all going to come up to the Dantian. It's all closing. And now it's all opening. And close. And open. And close. And open. It's not necessary to overdo it physically. It's okay to pump it up a little physically, but it's also okay, in some ways preferable, to be rather a little quiet physically and pay attention to the energy flow inside. All right? When you're closing, you can feel that. Right? When you're opening, you can feel that. Oh, everything in me just closed. Everything in me just opened. So what you've done is circulate your chi through the entire body with these exercises. You may notice for yourself as you're doing these, well, that works really good, except for my right hip. All right? My right hip's a little quonky. Well, if that's true, then be a little kinder to your hip here, but also pay a little more attention to it. And go, okay, why is it quonky? Is it a little stiff? Do I have my foot turned the wrong way? What can I do to ease the right hip and let this feeling of energy movement go through there a little more freely? All right? Let's do the reverse. Same thing. Everything closes. Everything opens. everything closes, everything opens. So you're probably, as you practice these and the other silk reeling exercises, you're probably going to find a pace and an intensity that works best for you on whatever day you're doing this on. Don't overdo it, but don't underdo it either. All right? For me, one of the things that happens is I want to hit this sweet spot, and I'll know I've hit it when, after a half a dozen of these movements or so, I start getting spontaneous adjustments of the spine. That is, you feel your vertebrae going pop, 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 pop. And it's like, wow, that's interesting, because I'm not really trying to do that. It's just happening naturally because it's relaxing and it's flexing naturally. Okay, any questions?
No, but I love that one.
I wonder what inspired me to do Tiger and Bear this morning. I don't know whether you read her piece the other day, but she had a big piece on Tiger and Bear, and I really liked the illustration, by the way, by your friend. That was really nice.
I was hoping you would like that. That's great.
One of the things, we'll finish with this. I've always sort of felt this in my body, and looking at your friend's illustration really made me feel this. This lower half, this is a circle, all right, full circle, and it's a Tai Chi circle, meaning half of it's yin and half of it's yang. Half of it's closing, half of it's opening. The closing half is the bear, so you can see that as coming like this. The opening half is the tiger, you can see that coming like that. And they fit together perfectly, yin and yang, just like in a Tai Chi circle. And you can feel it in your body when you do this. So in a way, this particular circle happens to be maybe one of the main circles, or maybe the main circle in the body, because it is the core of the body. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. All right, we're going to start tomorrow at 8 o'clock on the dot, because we have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. All right, so we'll see you then.
Thank you, guys. Happy Friday.
Ciao.
Ciao.